Hello and welcome to the Douglas Dakota Mk.3 and Willys Jeep 172 Airfix parts and box review. Now you have, I think it's around 5 spruces, the main grey ones, and then you've got one clear one. So the instructions, it's a reasonably hefty wad. It's always worth reading through the instructions, even if you're not making it straight away. They're reasonably clear. They're one of the clear ones that you can find around. Most of the instructions seem rather easy for any modeler, until around when you start doing the landing gear, and then it starts getting a bit confusing, all the pictures, and a bit more complicated, as you can see around here, depending on how well you can read your instructions. Now there are 2 sets of instructions for this. You've got the main aircraft, and then you have, after these bits here, you have the Willys Jeep instructions, which I have already made, if I find it for you. It's a really nice detailed Jeep here, and it's really quite easy to build actually, and it's not at all difficult to make. So I would really recommend, if you're don't have the time but you still want to make something, the Willys Jeep is a great vehicle to make. Now that's enough on the instructions. Let's chuck them on the floor and have a look. Now, as you can see, I've already used that decal there for the thingy on these little ones down at the bottom. We'll stick on at a later date. However, there are quite a few really nice crisp decals on this decal set, and a lot of them are really rather small, which will be quite a challenge for a beginner modeler, as the small ones are quite challenging to put on models. But the basic ones, if you don't put all of those on, are quite easy, as you can see here. Now, this decal set is for the 194 Squadron in Burma, that did transporting when the Japanese were invading Burma. Other sets are available of the Douglas Dakota by Airfix 172 scale, but they don't come with the Willys Jeep. They are just the C-47 Skytrain, and they're called C-47 Skytrain, which is the American one, and so you'll get the American Air Force one. Now I'll put them to the side, move my farm building out to the side. Now we get into the main spruces. So you have one for the 2 main wings. I did find when I opened the box that some of the connections were broken, but it's not that bad. It didn't really have any missing pieces. We have the next one with the seats and the pilots right there, as you can see, with the engines there. You get the right amount of engines, but for some reason you have got 2 propellers there, and the ones I told to use are not these ones actually. It's rather quite confusing. Those 2 there, they don't tell you to use in the instructions. They've given you another spruce with 2 more on, as you can see here, there and there, and for some reason they've given us 4 when you only need 2. Now a lot of kits, as it does say in the instructions, will have more parts for the and the model actually needs, so those 2 there. But it's kind of weird for you giving you 4 propellers. That is quite rare. I actually haven't had that before. But yeah, all these bits look very neat and crisp. That one bit is missing. It's in the box somewhere. When I got it out, it decided to pop out. That is one thing you've got to be careful with. Sometimes they do like to pop out. They're all neatly formed, nice and detailed. but all nice and crisp. And we'll go on to the last two. You've got the main fuselage here, the undercarriage bit section there, main engine bit, tail plate. Now this is the interesting bit. You've got the ramp here, right here where my finger is tapping. Now that ramp is used for the Jeep here to go up, and it is optional, but you do have to have the doors open on the model, which would be right here. You will have to have those doors open to connect that. As the Dakota was a transport plane, you would literally get your Jeep and it would drive up these ramps through the doors. I personally am not going to have it with the stairs because I would quite like to have it flying, but I'm still going to have the gear down, but I would still quite like to be able to have it like my Lancaster. So you've got the upper wing here with the ailerons. It's all very detailed. It's not the most detailed model I've ever seen, but it's certainly not a bad model. And then you've got the last bits here. So this is the bit that fell off. Bit of a pain really that bits fall off, but I know where that goes because I've read the instructions. Now, as with every model, you do have the glass bits. Now I'm not going to get the glass bits out the box because I don't want these to run away. These are rather hard to find once you are done. So you have the cockpit there, receiver, landing lights, and the rest of the loads of windows, because there's actually quite a few windows, as you can see along here. Windows on either side. It's quite a strange design, but these were used for transporting people too. So you've got to remember that. Now that is the end of the box part review. I would recommend this model is for the slightly more experienced modelers. It is a 3 rated guide by Airfix themselves, and it is quite a fiddly kit in some places. Now I'll keep you up to date with this in my Instagram. It'll be down in the description, and feel free to join my Discord for any more updates as well. Now I will be making a building video here too on what I'm painting and everything, and the painting video should be up soon. I am going to paint the spruce parts first because that's always recommended as it does fit better. Thank you for watching. Please if you like this video, please can you like it, and if you want to subscribe, please do.